I feel a bit pessimistic after your speech, because I feel it as too much as a white-black picture. And your characteristic of Western philosophy, I feel it one-sided. Humanism is quite a lot more than you told about. Historical existentialism is quite more. And Kant never said no to metaphysics. He said no to a classical metaphysics and built up a modern metaphysics. And so insofar it's quite, I must say, wrong to criticize Kant for missing metaphysics. But it's the traditional metaphysics which he criticized. And insofar I understand that it is possible for Islamic philosophers to integrate Kant. Why? Because this difference between when you say that it is impossible, it is a contradiction in itself to make philosophy in dialogue with Kant and in discussion with Kant and using Kant in some direction. Iqbal did the same thing. And why is that? So that's wrong. And why? When I emphasize in this, I feel very sympathetic to your no and the no also before to Huntington's clash of civilizations. But my problem is that you, in the way you characterize Western philosophy and Eastern philosophy, confronts us with a choice. Either Eastern philosophy or Western philosophy. And that means far as you, so to say, confronts us with this choice, you build up a possibility for a clash of civilizations. Insofar I'm really, you know, where are the chances from the West in your concept for inspiring the East?
Yes. I'm very grateful for your very pertinent observations. The question is, starting from the Greek philosophers, Thales, till postmodernism, I'm a student of European and Western philosophy. The question is that forms that said materialism, dialectical materialism, atheistic existentialism, logical positivism, I have named these moments, and other moments also. One thing which characterizes the whole Western philosophy is that absence of the principle of transcendence.
No.
Please excuse me. The transcendence by the search of transcendence, that is also a living issue in Western philosophy. But the question is that the transcendence which the traditional philosophers talk of, that the modern West transcendence doesn't go near it. I have studied the works of Martin Heidegger. I have studied Husserl. I have studied Kierkegaard. I have studied all these people. When we Easterns talk of transcendence, we talk of a system of a source of knowledge which is higher than sense experience. When Iqbal criticized Kant, he said that he brought the works of the rationalist to ruins, and rightly so he has been called a gift to his country. That is a separate issue. But Iqbal took point with Kant that he denied any other form of higher knowledge. And when you talk of metaphysics in West, it is not that metaphysics which the Easterns understand as metaphysics. Because the Easterns understand metaphysics as beyond physics, beyond the realm of physics. And that is not by virtue of sensory intuition, that is by virtue of intellectual intuition. This is the point of debate, not only with the modern West. The whole humanity is divided on one fundamental point, and I raise those two questions. that is there any world beyond the empirical world? And second, is there any possibility of knowledge within man beyond the empirical knowledge? Your sciences, your philosophies, all are enmeshed in the point of finitude. There is no concept of the metaphysical infinite in Western philosophy. What I say, I do not deny integration. I only say that before you want to integrate, we must understand what are the points where we have to integrate. I just quoted you that Iqbal talks of humanity. He does not make a polarization between the Eastern and Western thought. He talks of humanity, and he says that humanity can only prosper if there is a spiritual principle of humanity. If there is no spiritual principle of humanity, how you can integrate humanity? You cannot integrate, because it is only the spiritual principle. It is only the spiritual principle which is unitive, I would say, and it is not divisive. So this is the reason that the traditional writers say that the modern West must go back to their Christian tradition, because it was there that they broke their chains, their links from heavens. The humanism of Italy of 16th century reduces everything to the individual. They have cut their relationships with the heavens. If the relationship with the heavens are restored, and I just quoted in my lecture that the modern West needs to have its links with the Christian tradition, and by virtue of that, it will have links with the traditional world.